Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Midday Market Monitor. In today's video, we are going to be talking about a lot of big tech names, acquisitions, the potential change in strategy for BMNR, some upcoming fintech names that may or may not have some Elon Musk inspired. It's Elon Musk's company. I was trying to think of something clever. I can't. And a bunch of other NVIDIA related news that I wanted to talk about, preferably NemoClaw. Geez. And then we can also get into some Iran and oil talk as well. But to start off, I first wanted to cover a little bit of NVIDIA here. Actually, no, I kind of want to talk about X Money. This is so silly. I know this is probably not the best place to start, but it's actually kind of blowing my mind. So X Money, which is X's own version, trying to sort of disrupt payments. And I mean, if they can offer what they're offering right now for long periods of time, I mean, they will disrupt payments in banking. 6% APY on deposits, insured up to $250,000. This is for U.S. customers. A metal card, which is actually a debit card, giving you 3% cash back. A 3% cashback debit card, 6% APYs. What are we talking about here? You know, this almost doesn't make any sense. It's actually crazy how much higher that is versus names like, well, any single big bank, any fintech, any even non-financial institution getting into fintech. That was a very famous quote that Mark Andreessen once said, that every company will be a fintech company. X is probably a great example of this, of them being able to tie in, services like banking into a social media app. And how do you gain trust for a social media app to have banking services? Well, you offer an offer that is too silly to say no to. And honestly, this is crazy. X Money allows you to create a digital Visa debit card with the tap of a button. This is a 3% cashback debit card. Whenever you think about interchange rates, so whenever you tap your card against a merchant terminal, that terminal, like the merchant bank, pays for that transaction. Okay, and so the store owner, the business, whatever, is paying for a convenience fee of, instead of you pulling out cash and having to pay change and everything like this, they're paying, higher rates for credit cards and lower rates for debit cards. The higher rates on credit cards because there's risk to the banks. They want a higher fee because, there's chances that they lose out on that money, et cetera, et cetera. A debit card, there's no chance that you lose that money. That money has to be in the account in order for you to actually receive that money to the merchant. And so, you charge maybe 0.4, 0.5% on those transactions, maybe at the highest, like 0.7, something crazy like this. 3%, you're losing out on a lot of money every single time that someone ends up making a transaction. It's just insanity. Okay. So, and then on top of that, the APYs right now versus what you would get at like a Fed's fund rate is so much higher, 6%. Like even at the height, this is not even a sign-up bonus. Obviously, I think that this will be temporary. I mean, anything that would be impossible to make money would eventually lead to a company's inevitable bankruptcy. But this cannot be profitable. No way, Jose. So it'll be interesting to see how long that they keep this up, what subscriptions or something like this that they also try to drive. I'm not sure. But X Money coming in strong. Very, very cool. Would you guys switch though? Would you switch over to that, X Money to try to take advantage of these rates? 6% for a year, then they've got you on the platform. Here's the problem. I think the people who are willing to switch to get, 2% higher or something like this, are people who will be very reactionary to the price. So the people who are saying yes, Jay-Z won here. I'm curious, would you, if the next year they end up switching it back down to, let's say, 3.5%, would you then go, okay, well, it's no longer worth it for me to be here? Money laundering for sure. Well, I wouldn't necessarily. It's backed by the FDIC. It's no longer X money. It's also XAI and everything like this. You're putting a lot of money at risk by trying to, do anything illegal. I wouldn't necessarily think that it's a legal activity that is what is happening here. I just think that they're taking a loss as sort of like loss leader to get customer acquisition. I'd switch in a heartbeat if I could, depending what other stuff they put on the platform. I see. But yeah, that's the concern about giving short-term bonuses. But here's the thing: they're not saying it's short-term. Maybe they run it for a year. Maybe they've gotten so much money from XAI and the money that they've raised there that they're like, oh wait, no one uses Grok. I guess we'll use this money to instead of buying NVIDIA chips, we'll just give it back to our customers. Someone said oil collapse. Last time I saw it, oh, you know what? It still is falling. Holy. Yeah, wow. Let's follow this in real time. Oil back down to $80 a barrel. Let's keep this up on screen for a sec. In fact, I'm going to just move that screen over to there. Is oil crashing in front of my very own eyes right now? Let's look at it in the last week. Wow. That is crazy. Okay, we'll keep an eye on that. On top of that, however, there was actually a great video from Ryan Peterson on the supply chain disruptions from the Iranian war. I want to watch that. I've already seen it, but he has a great way of breaking things down to. He's the Flexport CEO. I absolutely love him. He talks very clearly, breaks it down for the layman like myself. Let's go ahead and trend that, and we'll watch oil prices, which is finding new lows even continuously right now. 80.30 right now, $80.40 a barrel. Now underneath that. Wow, wow, wow. Let's check the markets at the same time. QQQ's up 0.7%. The SPY is up 0.56%, $682 on the SPY as oil falls. This is interesting. By the way, we also have Oracle tonight. Earnings are at 5 p.m., but we'll be live at 3:45 with Neil and Jose. Amit has technical Tuesday, so he won't be joining us today, but we'll be listening to the call. I want to actually hear $80.22 it was just at a second ago. Wow. Wasn't oil supposed to be at like 200 right now? Yes, there were some pretty drastic oil reserve moves and stuff like this. So, which also kind of, could suggest that this could be temporary price improvements. If the Strait stays closed for extremely long periods of time, this could absolutely be temporary. Is Steve joining you guys? I should find out. I'll reach out to Steve. Do you want to join for Oracle earnings? Okay. Everything's a meme stock today. That's a good way of putting it. Holy. Yeah. Circle's up 8.6%, $121. That's actually something I haven't checked up on. Where is, let me go to Gecko Coin really quick. I want to, sorry, Coin Gecko, Gecko Coin. I wanted to check SoFi USD to see if we've had any transactions there yet. Last time I checked, there was no transactions, but I would like to just check Etherscan really quickly. Still no transactions. No, well, I mean, there were some transactions, but then they fully burnt it off. We're not actually seeing a supply yet. I'll keep up watching that, but when Circle's up, it always gets me interested in checking out SoFi USD. Okay. Are we going to break under $80 a barrel in this live stream right now? Check out Gemini Space Station. I'm tracking it on my thing. It's up 10.4% right now today, Gemmy. I am tracking that. Air Test Systems up 8%. Vertex Pharmaceuticals up 7.8%. One Stop Systems up 7.5%. SanDisk up 7%. Micron up 6%. These are some of the high flyers of the day. Rivian up 6.5%. Let's also check, where is Nebius today? Nebius up 2.7%, $97 a share. This company needs to be over 200 soon. Not that I have anything, I don't have any shares waiting on that to happen, but yeah. All right, did we touch oils? Did we find the bottom for oil? Are we heading back up? Okay, let's go ahead and listen to Ryan Peterson of Flexport. In the meantime, while that settles, we will listen to his supply chain disruption concerns from the Iran war.
Guest is feeling the impact of the war, especially when it comes to the global supply chain. With a dozen of his company's containers stuck in transit, Flexport CEO Ryan Peterson joins us now. Ryan, where are these shipping containers stuck?
Hey, nice to see you. Oh, we've got containers all over the place. In fact, and the ocean freight side of things, the container side of things is probably not the biggest story here. They've been dropping these containers at different ports along the way and canceling bookings. But actually, it's our air freight business that's more disrupted, where you have just all the Middle East is a major cargo hub, obviously, with Emirates, Etihad, and Qatar Airways there. And all three have effectively shut down operations, taking off about 18% of the world's air cargo capacity. Emirates has started to bring back some flights, actually operating from Dubai to Southeast Asia and East Asia more broadly, but it's a very gradual comeback. And then the Strait of Hormuz is just shut down, so the world's container shipping lines also are just they're not accessing the Middle East at all right now.
Have you ever seen anything like this?
Well, yeah, I mean, I would argue we've probably seen worse when it comes to container shipping, which is the Red Sea has not been operating since late 2023. And actually, that's part of this story, too, is that the reason that the Red Sea shut down for operations for container shipping was the Houthis firing missiles and drones at container ships passing through that strait. And that's considered to be an Iranian proxy. And so Maersk, one of the world's largest ocean carriers, had just started in February to resume shipping through the Red Sea and the Suez Canal, which takes takes about 20% of the time off of the transit from Asia to Europe. They just started in February, and now they've already pulled back and said it's too risky. So yeah, we've seen worse. I think the reason it's worse for container shipping is that the Persian Gulf is, you might call it a cul-de-sac. It's a dead end. Whereas the Red Sea is like the major thoroughfare for something like 35% of the world's containers.
Hey, Ryan, looking through to end markets, there's been a lot of chatter about planting season and what farmers will do for fertilizer. There's talk about construction projects for the summer. There's talk about inventory, retail inventory for back to school. How far out are things getting affected?
Yeah, I mean, you see, there's a pretty big backlog, because what happens is it's not just the ships that are sailing to the Strait of Hormuz, sailing to Jebel Ali is the 9th largest port in the world from a container shipping standpoint. That's in Dubai. It's not just cargo that's bound for Jebel Ali, but a huge number of ships from Asia to Europe stop in Jebel Ali en route. And so there's going to be delays. They're leaving containers at origin that may cause congestion in those ports. So there's certainly a story there. I think the bigger story by far is what happens with oil. You're showing the price of oil now. It's very interesting to see the volatility here. But if oil, if that market doesn't resume, you had days. Normally, there's 150 ships transiting the Strait of Hormuz every day. That number hit 0 in terms of number of oil tankers passing through this week. If that maintains, I mean, you're going to have massive problems all through the economy, not just from high oil prices, but actual shortages, inability to get oil at any cost. So that's the bigger story that everyone needs to be paying attention to here.
Would you be thinking about like power infrastructure and blackouts in Southeast Asia or something like that?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not familiar enough with the power grids and how they're supplied, but certainly in any region that's depending on oil, but probably more about cars and manufacturing sectors and things like this, of transport and mobility.
Is a great way of talking about it. Even, oh, look at oil right now. Oh my gosh. Under 80. Holy. We're in free fall. What's happening to the markets? We're finding new highs on the day. We just entered a new high for the S&P, or sorry, for the NASDAQ, I should have said. QQQ's entered a new high, and S&P both just broke new highs. And oil's about to fall to $78 a barrel here. Absolutely crazy. Jose Neil. Okay, supposedly Steven set up his own stream. Cancel that one and come join. Starting at 3:45. Okay, I'm going to call Steve and guilt trip him while oil's crashing here to have him join the Oracle call. No answer. Can I call you later? Yeah, sure. Okay. U.S. Navy escorted oil through the strait. Yes, they did. U.S. Energy, dude, your text message. I love you, because this was posted 43 seconds ago. U.S. Energy Secretary Wright said that the U.S. escorted a oil tanker through the Strait of Hormuz. I can't believe I had a hard time reading that. Never mind. I found one that posted it 4 minutes ago. Okay, still though, that was quick. Buying BMNR hand over fist. We need to talk about BMNR. I want to kind of stay a little bit focused here, but we are going to have a segment for BMNR 100%. Okay? There's a lot to talk about here. But I want to make sure that we're not switching topics too many times here. Percent change on crude oil right now is down 17.6% right now, $78 a barrel. This is also leading to absolute highs on the S&P. Not absolute highs, I shouldn't say. Highs of the day. SPY is up. The Qs are up. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is what a bull market. Too early to call that, but it is. It's nice to fall. We're about to fall under $78 a barrel here. We're about to hit 77. Oh. 77.90. Wow. Okay, there we go. Why is everyone afraid of Uber? Dude, I'm not afraid of Uber. I think Uber's a great name. I like Uber a lot, but here is some of the concerns. And I think why it's not like people are not jumping after it. Uber and Waymo ended up having a partnership in Austin, Texas, I believe. And that was their fastest growing segment, which was a huge high point to Uber's business, that they can bring Waymo customers. And then they expanded to multiple other cities without Uber. And they've continued to expand without Uber. And it's not a great point to make if Waymo is not they're not expanding that partnership as quickly as they're expanding their own Waymo app. Now, who knows if that's going to continue that way. I do think I like Uber, but like I think people are still just concerned. Are you buying it? No, I'm not. Because here's the thing. I like Uber, and I think that there's a lot of companies I like. I think going forward, there's going to be like one sector that I'm going to be buying in. And it's going to be Nebius and CoreWeave and all the neo clouds. And honestly, you're going to see me over time get extremely consolidated into these types of names. Some days you have to just like Coinbase. Yeah, no, I like Coinbase too. I'm buying the neo clouds. Like I think that there's a lot of really great industries. There's a lot of really great individual names that I like. Uber, some of them. I've been to the headquarters. I love Dara. Like I like the company a lot. I like Reddit a lot here too. I'm not doubling down on it. Yeah, Reddit, cool. Their margins really suck because they're growing at 500+% rates. That will change. Like we know the business of cloud is a successful one. And for essentially over a decade, AWS did not make good profits. GCP did not make profits until really recently. Now it's extremely profitable. Sorry about the noise. That's my dog eating some cheese thing behind me. Betting your life on neoclouds. I mean, yeah. Palantir, another great company. I like it a lot. By the way, are we following oil right here? Oh my gosh. $76 a barrel a second ago. Wow, man. At 8 o'clock this morning, this was $90 a barrel. Okay, wait. Can you guys hear the noise? I apologize. I'll take my dog's treat out of her mouth if that's if you guys are complaining that much. You wouldn't want to do that to a sweet dog, though. Just realize that would be your faults, not mine. You'd make her sad. It's good to diversify your portfolio. All in on one sector is scary. It is scary. I'm not looking to... what I meant was on all new money. All my purchases are going to be in new sectors. I'm still, not selling SoFi. I'm not selling Hood. I'm still going to have those names. I'm just not looking to buy Uber over Nebius. No noise? Okay, good. That being said, where is the SPY right now? Is this still climbing? Yeah, it is. New highs still. QQQs. It's not going up nearly as fast as the as oil is dropping here, but it's still positive. Let's go ahead and check the messages from Steve. Steve said 20 minutes in a meeting. Okay, I know that you guys heard that. I saw my mic spike whenever she ate that cheese. My biggest holding after NVIDIA, SoFi, and Hood. My biggest holding after NVIDIA is actually Shopify. So it's NVIDIA, Shopify, SoFi, Hood, Nubank. That's my top 5. But yeah, the core for sure, like almost half of my portfolio is almost entirely NVIDIA. And then on top of that, I'm trying to build great positions in names like Nebius and Like I see, or at least I believe I know where the market's going to go. I've got high belief in that. It's my opinion, and that's my opinion. You know. Okay, Steve's calling me here. 1 sec, but I'll talk to you about my portfolio here in a sec. Steve, you're on the live stream.
What's going on?
We're good. Are you coming to stream with us, or are you going to be a solo Stanley?
That's a great question. I was planning on doing solo Stanley.
Why?
But
everyone in chat is freaking out right now. They hate that decision.
Why?
Because they want you to join with the rest of your friends.
Okay. I'll be joining you tomorrow night, or you will be joining me, however you want to look at it.
They're pissed about that. I'm seeing the chat's freaking out.
Solo Stanley, baby.
No, they don't like that reaction. Oh, they're saying unsubscribing.
We'll see. Send me a link. Maybe I'll just join you guys.
Yeah.
I had no idea anybody was streaming it. That's why I did it myself.
What time are you going live at?
It's going to go live at 4 o'clock.
No, you're going live at 3:45. I'll see you there. I'll send you the link.
3:45 now.
Yeah, 3:45. Jose, Neil, myself, and the Milkman. That's a team, bro. We're gonna.
I guess we can make this happen.
All right, good to know. They said they're gonna resubscribe.
I guess we can make this happen. You talked me into it.
All right.
Don't threaten me with a good time.
Sounds good, brother. Bring your milk and cookies.
Question for you, real quick. SoFi, why is it reversing? Why is it coming back?
Coming back? I haven't even stared at it yet. I'm looking at oil. We're at $78 a barrel.
SoFi was down to 1804 to 1872.
No idea.
I'm the one that's supposed to be looking at oil. You're supposed to be looking at SoFi.
No, I'm an oil guy now. They call me the oil baron.
You're not an oil guy.
No, I'm a big oil guy.
Oil stock.
What?
You don't own a single oil stock.
I don't know if I could name an oil stock.
Chevron, Exxon,
No.
Energy Transfer, Enterprise Product Partners, Devon Energy, Oxy, Diamondback. Take your pick.
All right. Well, I'll pick one of those. I said I couldn't name it, not that you couldn't name it.
So what are you thinking about the markets right now? Oil touched 120. Now it's down under 80. Like I said was going to happen.
Thomas in chat called me Tanker Tanner. That's funny. I like that.
Dude, you need to invest in a fucking shipping company like.
Absolutely no swear words.
Change your name to Tanker Tanner.
No,
I love it.
No swear words. This is a friendly chat.
Can I buy you a share next decade so we can change your name to Tanker Tanner? That's amazing.
Absolutely. I'll join in on all their earnings calls.
Who gave you the name Tanker Tanner?
Thomas G, something like this in chat. Where is he? I'll find it.
Iconic.
Yeah.
Iconic.
It's perfect.
So how are you feeling about Oracle today?
Little worried, man. I think there's a lot to cover in terms of that recent OpenAI rumor, which they just came out today and said was absolutely false. They just secured an additional 4.5 gigawatts of power, which is like essentially all of IRN's power. That's crazy. So I'm just interested to learn. I don't know too much about Oracle, but I'm that's why I bring on the experts like Neil and Jose. And Steve.
I freed up a bunch of money, and I'm hoping, I shouldn't say I'm hoping, but let's put it this way. If Oracle hits 125, I'm starting a position. I have a feeling they're going to come in with about 120 to 130 billion in long-term debt on the balance sheet. I think that their cash will decline probably, and CapEx is going to expand, creating a bad narrative. People are going to initially sell it off, and then I think it starts to rebound off of the strong future earnings and revenue. And if they decline, I'm going to start a big position.
Yeah, okay. All right. Kale in chat said, great BMNR write-up. by the way, Steve.
Oh, thank you.
I got to do an update. I think that they're going to switch their strategy here. They're making some interesting moves. I've got a lot to commentate on. So
You should skim through my article. It's I think there's some interesting things with it. I actually bought more.
all right. I like that. I think now might be the best time to buy.
I agree.
Yeah.
I mean, if you get Clarity Act signed into law, this thing goes higher.
And I think they're greatly under MNAV right now. Like 0.93, 0.94, something like that. Probably the lowest they've been in a while.
No. Did you see the Salesforce news?
Yeah, crazy.
They think their stock is so cheap that they want to borrow $25 billion to buy back shares.
I know, crazy. Which actually is, like you said, I think it's super worrisome. You know, they didn't have a path to potentially make that money. They want to borrow it. I'm not a super fan of that, but
I mean, you can look at it like that. You can also look at it as they think there's more value in buying back shares under 200 than paying 4% or 5% on that money.
I get that, but it doesn't mean it's the right strategy.
I'm not saying it's the right strategy. I just think they're doing over $14 billion in free cash flow. They want to borrow $25 billion. Like, what crack is Benny on?
All right, I'm gonna let you go. I've got a lot to cover here, but 3:45. I'll send you the thing. You're joining. The whole audience is super excited.
Send me a link.
All right, bye. Appreciate you guys. That was a perfect assist. Honestly, I could have been not live. He had no, like, he wasn't putting 1 and 2 together. That the answers to the responses were quicker than the delay of the stream. Like, but yeah. Okay. But yes, Salesforce is looking to tap the debt markets for $25 billion just to go help fund buybacks. What the heck? You know? Let's go have a look at the broader market here as oil slightly turns upward back to $80 a barrel. The market also is seeing, you know, a little bit of hesitancy there as well, but overall we're up. As oil's down, we are up. Okay. NATO ambassadors plan to hold meeting with Gulf partners next week. Sources said through Reuters. Okay. Let's also check out. There was a recent commentary on the Iran war from Richard Blumenthal, the Democratic senator that had said, I mean, obviously he's not going to say anything positive, but let's go ahead and have a listen to some of his commentary after a recent meeting.
I emerged from this briefing as dissatisfied and angry, frankly, as I have from any past briefing in my 15 years in the Senate. I am left with more questions than answers, especially about the cost of the war. My questions have been unanswered, and I will demand answers because the American people deserve to know. And I guess I am most concerned about the threat to American lives of potentially deploying our sons and daughters on the ground in Iran. We seem to be on a path toward deploying American troops on the ground in Iran to accomplish any of the potential objectives here. And there is also as disturbingly as anything else, the specter of active Russian aid to Iran, putting in danger American lives. Literally, Russia seems to be aiding our enemy actively and intensively with intelligence and perhaps with other means. And China also may be assisting Iran. So the American people deserve to know much more than this administration has told them about the cost of the war, the danger to our sons and daughters in uniform, and the potential for further escalation and widening of this war, a war of choice made by this president, not chosen by the American people, with potentially huge consequences to American lives.
What did he say there at the end about the president not being chosen by the American people? He was. Okay. Yeah, I mean, we'll see if people end up getting deployed into Iran, but currently that's not the case, and we'll see. Oil starting to turn back. It's now back above $80 a barrel. Never a dull moment. Where is this? So you guys really want me to talk about BMNR? I can absolutely do that. I won't have you waiting any longer, but we'll keep an eye on this for a second, because that's going to have broad implication on the cues. As you can see, take a look at this. Oh my gosh. Like, how crazy is that? He said the war was voluntarily chosen by the president, not the American people. I see. Understood. That makes a lot more sense. Yeah, that's true. Okay. Let's go ahead and talk about BMNR. So I'm going to have a video out. I said I was going to have it out yesterday, and then, yeah, I didn't. BMNR is quite interesting, at least right here. There's a lot of moves to suggest that the strategy for BMNR is going to change. One, probably the largest one, is the Bitmine moving Ethereum to Coinbase Prime. Okay. Like I said to Steve, and I'll put out a video and actually explain the thesis around this and show, like actually show my work a little bit, but I'll just give you the sort of highlights. When BMNR is under MNAV, it does not make sense for them to raise, meaning dilute stock to go buy Ethereum, because what you're diluting at is worth less than the Ethereum itself. Okay. So what it actually means is there could be a potential that they go ahead and use cash, not to buy Ethereum, but to buy back stock. They could go ahead and use Ethereum to go ahead and buy back stock, because you would actually get more Ethereum per share by selling it than you would by buying more. How crazy is that? Think about that for a second. You would make more Ethereum per share by selling Ethereum and buying back stock under MNAV than you would if you just bought more Ethereum. And so the strategy could change a lot here. Okay. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of red candles, guys, as oil swings back around here. Obviously, the barrel of oil prices are okay. I can tell you exactly why it's coming back up. So oil, look at this. This is just crazy. Oil had crashed down because they said that a barrel of oil was exported or escorted through the Strait of Hormuz. Now, Chris Wright, the energy secretary, had just deleted that post. That's why the market just went completely red. The market's completely red because he deleted his post. Not good. Not good indeed. This is a story-driven stock, and the story keeps changing. Because they don't want Iranians to know. Iranians? It's free intel. It's free real estate. Yeah, no, I agree. So no one has passed through yet? I don't think we know. I think you're out of the know as much as I am. I don't think that he would have sent that text or tweet if that wasn't like either they were about to and then he said that they did, or he did tweet it and then someone told him he shouldn't have said that. But that doesn't mean that it didn't happen. I would probably likely lean to that side in terms of this did happen. U.S. Navy ships ended up escorting oil tankers through the Strait of Hormuz, but it was not supposed to be publicized. That's most likely the outcome, at least in my opinion. I was there, Tanner. We passed through. Well, I'm happy you're safe. He jumped the gun. His buddy said no time to short it. Okay. Dude, you didn't even let me finish my trade. I had a limit on that, and you freaking set the order. Okay. Yesterday's $35 a barrel oil swing falling from $119 to $84 in a single session officially marks crude oil's biggest intraday swing in dollar terms on record ever. Wow. That's surprising. Even like I remember during COVID, whenever oil went into like negative pricing, that yesterday had more total trades, marked crude oil's biggest intraday swing in dollar terms on record. Wow, wow, wow. Okay. Oil climbs back up. So going back to BMNR really quickly as we follow this story, and even ETH is taking a hit on this news, which is just crazy. They did a huge raise. Like this week is the most different week I've ever seen from BMNR than probably the last 5 months or something. Like the strategy has just completely changed. The amount of cash that they have is a new record. It broke their pattern. The raise broke their pattern. The amount of new ETH broke their pattern. Their MNAV broke the pattern. It's now at the lowest level that it's been at. It's all different. Like literally the company in the way that you should look at it is different. It now is, in my opinion, that if you're looking to add to BMNR, today is probably some of the best pricing you're ever going to see in terms of the multiple of what of what it actually has on book. Okay. That's pretty interesting. So now's the time to buy BMNR if you're interested in having a holding in it. Does it mean ETH can fall lower? I mean, yes, but it doesn't mean that the MNAV is going to be lower than it is today. It would be hard for it to continue to fall unless Tom Lee just keeps diluting. But that would like literally, if he kept diluting now, that would be like insanely bad for shareholders. You'd actually have to start questioning his movements, and he would actually have to come out and justify it. All right. But I'll have a lot more detail on my video that's coming out today. Is your thesis for BMNR still intact? Yeah, I mean, there hasn't been a change in terms of the amount of things that are going on chain. And in fact, the CFTC chair has been some of the biggest advocates for what I've been talking about. In fact, there was this video that was posted this morning, of him talking about how well, there was a couple videos. So one was talking about how there should be no difference between the way that you look at blockchains and the way that you look at current, like, old databases, right? It's a way of securing information, verifying it, and working across different businesses. But then he also came out and talked about how prediction markets are also going on chain and how that should be extremely like, that should be lucrative and that they should support it. Like, Ethereum is only going to get continuously more used, not less used. In that case, I think there's more gas fees. There's going to be, like, the Clarity Act's going to bring a whole new set of investors. It clears up, U.S. investors to know who is in charge of what and what to expect.
An ever-increasing number of Americans are checking prediction markets to learn about everything from the projected amount of snowfall in their hometown to the likelihood of a government shutdown. They don't trust the news media or the so-called experts anymore, and they're looking to social media, podcasts, and prediction markets for reliable information. Markets that work well are truth machines. Additionally, highly liquid prediction markets better inform Americans about the likelihood and underlying nature of political elections and global events. Prices then aggregate dispersed information. Money disciplines those who take losing positions. It's my hope that by marrying prediction markets with blockchains, we can see how decentralized trust and truth can act as a check on disinformation, outright falsity, and the threat of debanking.
That seems like a pretty good, support, not only for blockchain, but also for prediction markets, which I seemingly am involved in with, names like Robinhood, for example. SoFi as well, I also think will get involved in prediction markets, just not sports betting. I think it'll be more financial market predictions. But yeah. Can you give me an update on dLocal? Well, I mean, there's not too much to update about. Like, if you follow their company blog, there's not been too much. Now it's just coming down to what happens on earnings. Sorry about that. So we have earnings for dLocal in 8 days. That'll be the best insight for dLocal that we see, more than anything that we're getting right now. Literally, oil is purely moving on this tweet right now, which is just crazy. Let's see if anything changes there. Okay. Nebius just put out something here. We commissioned semi-analysis to model TCO across LLM pre-training, multimodal RL, and inference. Results, Nebius had the lowest total cost of ownership in all scenarios. Uh-oh. Dude, how crazy would it be? Like, what an upgrade Nebius would have if in the next cluster max ranking from semi-analysis, that semi-analysis ends up bumping them up to platinum the same way that CoreWeave is at the top there. I would freaking love that. BMNR and NVIDIA are 66% of the port. Brother, be careful. Okay. I like BMNR too, but I think some people inflate it in their heads of how big it is in my portfolio. Okay. I don't think BMNR has ever hit above 2% in my portfolio. Maybe at one point, like whenever it was at its highest or something like this. But I think it's like 1.5% or something like this. Careful, brother. Unless you have 65% in NVIDIA, you are playing a risky game. Yeah. This is the 10x play. This is the hope for much higher prices and like a moonshot itself. Not only are they taking moonshots, it in itself is a moonshot. Hood is 50+% of my portfolio. I mean, it's a good name to hold. You got to love the management there. Would you do SoFi or Hood? I have more money in SoFi than I do Robinhood, but both of them are in my top 5 holdings. Dookie in chat. Dookie, you would be so proud of me. I am officially hiring my first employee, and they're going to be coming on board probably April 1st. That's the hope. Just talked with them again today. Everything's looking great, and I can't wait for you guys to meet them. I'm sure we'll do a live stream or something like this to onboard them, get them into the community. But yeah, it's going to be freaking amazing. Oh, well, I mean, hopefully. Dookie's employees hiring new employees, so wholesome. That's freaking hilarious. That's why I just need to let my manager know. Do you personally use SoFi? No, I'm Canadian. I can't use any of the SoFi or Robinhood. April Fools them day one. Yeah. Them? No, it's a dude. You'll meet them. He's sick. I've actually known him a long time, but I don't want to just in case it doesn't fall through, I don't want to like say the name or something like this and then it doesn't end up happening. So I'm just going to make sure that everything's official and they're on the payroll and everything like that, and then I'll introduce them. Did you hire a robot? No, it's a person, but fully aware that artificial intelligence is going to be like, it is going to change everything, right? And I really like, I think that Tevis loves using those services and like building apps and everything like this. A big part of my hire was that I wanted someone who was going to love making apps and stuff like this. I play around with it because it's kind of like easy, but honestly, I want someone to just keep up with the models way, way more than I can. There'll be other admin stuff that I need help with and stuff, but like creating internal tools for me to help the business run a little bit smoother is going to be like the main aspect of the job. Robots will eventually. No, honestly, I don't think that. I'm actually extremely optimistic that AI agents are going to change what this person's job is, but it's not going to replace them. It's just going to like hopefully automate and then work on something new. Tanner, did you hear about Go Easy? What happened with Go Easy? Or are you just asking me if I've heard of this company? I used to be a shareholder of this company. What the heck happened to Go Easy? Dude, it's down 57% today. What happened? Oh my gosh. It's almost down 58%. It went from 116 down to 46. Oh my gosh. I'm going to try to find this story. Is this a short seller story? We are short Go Easy, a Canadian subprime lender with easy to borrow. Let's see here. Go Easy provides a financial and operational update ahead of its fourth quarter earnings results. Oh no. Did they cut their... Crazy. All right. Canadian subprime lender. Dude, no one, they weren't hiding that. They were doing fine. But honestly, you can't talk crap about this name. This name had done well, I mean, now you can. Maybe that's fine. But like, you take a look at their stock, they were taking, 40% APYs out on people, and it was, I mean, not a morally good business, but they freaking skyrocketed. This business was huge. Maybe now, I mean, maybe they're dead. I have not followed it in years, but this was a very fast growing name back in the day. Okay. Do you own Pagaya? No, not Pagaya. How did Oracle get 4.5 gigawatts so suddenly? Did they make a deal with Nebula? No. It's not active power. It's contracted power. So they will have 4.5 gigawatts. But it is an insane amount. That's almost the entire business. Like Nebius has, I think, like total active something like, or even contract, like something like 2 gigawatts, something like that, 2.1 gigawatts. I think all of Iren is 4.5. Cypher Mining only, I think, has like 600 megawatts. So yeah. Is it true you're a MITS X? That's not true. I don't know where that's you didn't even hear that rumor, dude. You're just making that up now. I like those type of like, is it true? And then just say a completely new thing that you've never heard before. That's hilarious. Okay. Crossroads. Let's give a little shout out to Roy on X here. He ended up bringing this up. I didn't know Vertiv was a SPAC. First company to enter the S&P 500 after entering public markets via a SPAC. Interesting. That's interesting. But obviously they didn't get in, but a lot of companies ahead of them did. So we'll see how that ends up, faring for them whenever they go to enter in for Q2, Q3, and Q4, if SoFi's on that list. Let's check silver. $80 on silver here. Let's also go to gold, up 1.6. The Qs had fallen because of oil, but now oil is falling back down. We might actually break below $80 a barrel as well. Here, let's keep an eye on this. Never a dull moment in public markets. Trump's live. What's Trump talking about? Let's see. Is Trump live right now? What is this about? It's frozen right now. The live stream is frozen. No, we're not going to keep up with that. Tanner the Tank Engine. Anytime oil comes up on screen, I'm Tanker Tanner. How much are you paying your employee, bruh? $6 an hour? How do you guys think of me? Is that how you think of me? That's whack. Also, completely illegal in Canada. I think where I am in Canada, the minimum wage or something like this is like $17.50 or something. It's crazy compared to the States. You guys, I think like your minimum wage is like $7 or something. Here it's like $17.50. Different currency, but it still comes out like double what yours guys is. So, I mean, it's at least that. Can't pay him $6 an hour. Plus more in taxes, yeah. Ours is over 11. I guess it depends on the state, right? $17.50 in DC. Moving to Canada, or you could just not get a minimum wage job. You could strive for make yourself a little bit more useful to get paid a little bit more than that. That's why everyone is leaving Canada. Bro, I don't know if you've seen our population. It's freaking skyrocketing. Doesn't feel like anyone's leaving. Feels like everyone's coming here. It's it's dense now. Yeah, everything is way too... Dude, I hear this too all the time. Everything's expensive in Canada. I go down to the States. It is 1,000 times worse. You know what? I come here and I'll go to like a coffee shop or something and the coffee's like $4. And I'm like, okay. And then I go to a coffee shop in America. It's also $4 in just more expensive currency. Now, if you're making US dollars, it's fine. But whenever people say Canada's expensive, I'm like, what are you talking about? There's parts of it that are expensive, like transportation and stuff like this, because obviously we don't have the infrastructure. But like, dude, grocery shopping in the States is way more expensive than grocery shopping in Canada. Where in America are you going? Like Florida? Like where every Canadian goes? Dude, you're a millionaire. I buy things. I see how much the bills are. It has nothing to... I'm not saying what's affordable. I'm saying I know what I'm paying in Canada and I know what I'm paying in America. And all the time, whenever I leave the States, I'm like, yeah, no, a fancy dinner in Canada might cost me $80. And then in America, it's also $80. It's just in a way tougher currency. Can we watch Trump? I just clicked on the live stream. He's talking about like Charlie Kirk or something. What does that have to do with markets? If he's talking about Iran, I want to listen to it, or oil, or something like this. I don't know if I clicked on the wrong live stream or something. It's expensive just everywhere. Yeah. Okay. Oil back under 80. Geez, it's crazy. This tweets are controlling this market right now. I also wanted to There is a CNBC clip that I wanted to check out as well. Let me see if I can find it again. Ooh, they've already updated. They're talking about this tweet here. Actually, it's only a 50-second clip. I think they're just going to say that he deleted the clip. We already know that. Okay. If there's not more information than that, then okay, this is going to be really important. Is business back to normal in the Strait of Hormuz? This is probably going to help correct prices.
Show you this oil price chart again. Let's bring in KKM Financial's Jeff Kilberg, because Jeff, who is also a CNBC contributor, I'd like you to just react and emote. We're at 78 on WTI now. Just
77.
77. Can you talk a little bit about what you think is going on here?
Well, what goes up must come down, but to kind of push back and refute your first guest, who seemingly was sponsored by Polymarket. I don't know if he has a name, image, and likeness contract with Polymarket, but put it in context.
He was taking the other side, by the way. He was saying if they or Kelshi or whoever, if the markets are right that the Strait of Hormuz stays quote unquote closed for a few more weeks, he's like, why is the oil price at 78? It makes no sense.
The markets dictate where everything is going, not Polymarket. Polymarket last month had $7 billion in notional. The stock market is 70 trillion with a capital T. So I can debate him at a later date, hopefully over a beer at some point. But my point is that we are seeing the magnitude of this move. It was sensational. Just yesterday, we had a 6% pullback in the S&P 500. Now we're 2.5% away from new all-time high.
Jeez.
The VIX went up and kissed 35, Kelly. Now it's 35% lower and going lower. So I think it's sensational to see this type of velocity and magnitude, but this is
Do you believe, let me ask it differently, Jeff. Do you believe the market reaction? Do you think this is a little too good to be true? Or do you think this is perfectly logical, real-time discounting? 1 second. We have oil prices moving even lower. If you guys can scroll up for a minute, please. Because Energy Secretary Chris Wright is saying that the U.S. Navy has successfully escorted an oil tanker through the Strait of Hormuz. Again, this leg lower in the U.S. oil price just the last couple of moments, where we're down to 78 or 77 a barrel, comes as the U.S. Energy Secretary Chris Wright says the U.S. Navy has successfully escorted an oil tanker through the Strait of Hormuz. And that's got us to an 18% drop in WTI, as Jeff is hollering in the back there to below 70. So we were just kissing 76. Jeff Kilberg. So the exact question I was just asking you then, this news flow, we get a tanker through, it makes sense to you that we're at 76 on WTI?
It does, but you have to realize, did it make sense that we were at 119 yesterday? So you get these reactions, these overreactions, these exaggerations, but we have to keep it in context that crude oil just a month or two ago was trading in the 60s. So when you see this type of historic move, and yesterday, Kelly, it was a historic move. So it does make sense. You're seeing a lot of people being flushed out of their week long. So there's a lot of volume going in the CME futures right now on crude oil, but this is what makes a market move. And this is what hedging is all about. But I think if we see a successful oil tanker, maybe business is back to usual in the Strait of Hormuz.
All I'm saying is we were
just really quick. Even supposedly the Iranian side said the commander of the Iranian Revolutionary Guard Navy claim of an oil tanker passing through the strait escorted by the United States military is false. I mean, I don't know if they would say anything differently than that, regardless of the case. But yeah. U.S. officials have come out and said nothing has been escorted through. The Chris Wright story completely is false. Yeah, that just came out from Reuters. U.S. officials tell Reuters. Where does that have WTI now? Oh my gosh, guys. U.S. officials came out and said it was false. Womp womp. Oh, wow. Iran said it was false. US said it was false. Chris wrong. Yeah, he had a little it is funny. Chris Wright did it, like, isn't that funny? He is a US official. Who are these US officials? He did delete it though. He is the US official. That's so funny. Maybe they're trying to do something where they're not. They have like a way through that's like kind of secretive, and they're like, "Hey, you know what? Let's just." Chris Wright's out here tweeting. They're like, "Dude, what the?" Okay. Can you zoom out on the chart? No. It's stuck like that. No, I can zoom out, but we got to look back. I'm here on these candles here. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, essentially that is it from me today. I got to get out this BMNR video. I hope that you guys are sleeping well, and while there's a lot of chaos here, that you actually do stay optimistic. Some people, I think, potentially take on too much risk that it starts to affect their mental lives and everything like this. Hopefully, although some people like to call me Tantrum Tanner, that you see between the fun parody side of it, and also see that I actually do remain quite calm and invested through all of this, and that'll be my strategy going forward. But regardless, take care of your health, get some sleep. All this money's not going to be worth crap if you're dead. Stay relaxed. Okay. High sleep stress, 0%. That's how to do it. Love you guys. Till next time. Bye for now.